Imagine this: what if the key to unlocking the life of your dreams lies not in sheer hard work or blind luck, but in understanding the powerful balance between wisdom, abundance, and divine timing? What if these principles were encoded in numbers that could guide you toward a life of unimaginable wealth, not just financially, but emotionally and spiritually as well? Let's take a journey into the fascinating intersection of ancient wisdom, spiritual growth, and modern success. Numbers aren't just digits on a screen, they carry profound meaning, embodying energies that can transform your life when understood and applied correctly. Have you ever wondered why some people seem to magnetize success effortlessly, while others struggle despite relentless effort? Could it be that the secret lies in aligning their actions with universal energies, energies represented by numbers like 6, 5, and 10? These are not ordinary numbers. They hold the potential to guide you toward balance, unlock doors to abundance, and help you trust the timing of your journey. In today's video, we'll reveal how these three numbers, steeped in both ancient Buddhist wisdom and universal truths, can shape the path to your success. But this isn't just a philosophical discussion. By the end of this journey, you'll walk away with practical tools and inspiring stories that demonstrate how spiritual growth and material prosperity are deeply interconnected. From a Buddhist perspective, the number 6 aligns closely with the 6 Paramitas, 6 perfections, which serve as guiding principles for cultivating a balanced and harmonious life. These perfections emphasize generosity, discipline, patience, diligence, meditation, and wisdom. Together, they create the foundation for a life of compassion and responsibility. In Buddhism, wealth is not solely material. It's about creating a life that supports both personal needs and the well-being of others. True prosperity is rooted in ethical earning and mindful generosity. Siddhartha was a wealthy merchant and a devoted disciple of the Buddha. Despite his vast riches, he always prioritized using his wealth to support his family, community, and those in need. He famously purchased the Jetavana monastery for the Buddha and his disciples, offering it as a space for teaching and meditation. Siddhartha's example illustrates how financial stability combined with generosity leads to spiritual and communal harmony. The energy of 5 resonates with impermanence, anicca, a core Buddhist teaching. The Buddha emphasized that all things are subject to change, and resisting this truth creates suffering. By embracing change, we open ourselves to growth, opportunity, and financial success. The number 10 embodies the Buddhist concept of samsara, the cycle of birth, death, and rebirth. Each ending is an opportunity for a new beginning, echoing the cyclical nature of life and growth. It also reflects the importance of mindfulness and intention in transitioning from one phase to another. Stability, symbolized by the number 6, serves as the foundation for both personal and communal success. It calls for harmony in relationships, disciplined living, and mindful resource management. In Buddhism, stability arises from practicing the middle way, a balanced approach to life that avoids extremes. Stability isn't just material but also emotional and spiritual, creating a firm foundation for personal growth and generosity. The Buddha and his disciples were once offered a bamboo grove by the wealthy merchant Kalanda. This space became a haven of stability and learning, where monks could practice meditation and share the Buddha's teachings with the community. The bamboo grove's stability allowed both the physical and spiritual growth of countless practitioners. Build stability in your life by setting priorities that align with your values. This could mean creating a savings plan, nurturing meaningful relationships, or practicing mindfulness to stabilize your emotions. Reflect on your foundation. Are you building your life on fleeting desires or on lasting principles of balance? Example, a young couple commits to living modestly to save for their dream home. This focus on stability not only secures their financial future but strengthens their bond as they work toward a common goal. The number 5 urges us to step out of our comfort zones. Change, though often challenging, brings opportunities for growth and prosperity. Change is central to the Buddha's teaching of anicca, impermanence. Resisting change creates suffering, while embracing it leads to liberation and opportunities for growth. Prince Siddhartha's decision to leave his luxurious life in the palace epitomizes the energy of 5. Despite being surrounded by comfort and security, he chose the uncertainty of the unknown to seek deeper truths. His bold step became the first chapter in a journey that would transform the world. Embrace change in your financial life by stepping into new opportunities. Whether it's learning a skill, starting a business, or investing in something innovative, ask yourself, what is one bold step you've been hesitant to take? And what might be holding you back? Example, a mid-career professional embraces an unexpected opportunity to pivot into a completely new field. While the transition is daunting, the change ultimately brings greater fulfillment and financial rewards. Step 3, reaping rewards and starting anew. 10. Key concept, number 10 signifies the culmination of effort, and the opening of new doors. Each milestone achieved is an invitation to begin a fresh chapter. Buddhist perspective. The concept of samsara, the cycle of birth, death, and rebirth, mirrors the energy of 10. In Buddhism, every end is a new beginning, and mindfulness during transitions ensures that new beginnings are purposeful and fulfilling. Famous Buddhist story, the Buddha's first teaching. After attaining enlightenment, the Buddha began a new chapter by teaching others. His first sermon at Sarnath, the Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta, turning the wheel of Dharma, marked the beginning of a transformative movement that continues to guide millions. Practical insight. Use the completion of a project or goal as an opportunity to reflect, celebrate, and plan your next steps. Be mindful during transitions, ensuring that new endeavors align with your long-term aspirations. Example, an entrepreneur sells a successful business and uses the proceeds to mentor young startups, beginning a new phase of life rooted in purpose and contribution. The interplay of 6, 5, and 10, a holistic journey, a unified framework. 1. Number 6, lay the groundwork with stability and balance. 2. Number 5, step boldly into new opportunities, adapting to change. 3. Number 10, celebrate achievements and move forward with renewed purpose. Buddhist-inspired collective story, the journey of Anathapindika. The wealthy merchant Anathapindika exemplifies the wisdom of this trio. Building stability. 6. Anathapindika amassed wealth through honest business practices, creating a strong foundation for his family and community. Embracing change. 5. He used his resources to boldly purchase the Jetavana monastery for the Buddha, despite the enormous cost. Reaping rewards. 10. His generosity created a sanctuary for countless practitioners, leaving a legacy of spiritual growth and enlightenment. Numbers 16, 8, and 12 provide a framework for harmonizing spiritual growth, material abundance, and the wisdom of divine timing. When these numbers are viewed through the lens of Buddhist philosophy, they reveal profound lessons about mindfulness, generosity, and trust in the natural flow of life. Let's explore these numbers and their meanings through stories and insights inspired by Buddhist teachings. Step 1. Number 16, Spiritual Growth and Wise Decision Making. Key concept: the number 16 reduces to 7, 1 plus 6 equals 7. A number associated with introspection, spirituality, and wisdom. In the financial context, it urges decisions grounded in insight and purpose rather than impulsivity. Buddhist perspective: the practice of vipassana, insight meditation, teaches us to look deeply into the nature of reality. Wisdom, prajna, one of the core virtues in Buddhism, guides us to act with clarity and intentionality, ensuring that our decisions align with both ethical and spiritual values. Famous Buddhist story, the simile of the raft. The Buddha once told the story of a man who used a raft to cross a river. Once he reached the other side, he realized he no longer needed the raft. Carrying it forward would be unnecessary. This parable illustrates the importance of letting go of tools and attachments that no longer serve a purpose. A hallmark of wise decision-making. Practical insight. Apply wisdom by evaluating your investments, relationships, and choices. Are they still serving your long-term goals? Trust your intuition, and ensure your decisions are guided by insight, not fear or greed. Example: a teacher nearing retirement evaluates whether to continue working or dedicate time to personal growth. Guided by introspection, she chooses to invest in a retreat center, combining her spiritual aspirations with a sustainable financial venture. Step 2, number 8, Abundance and Wealth Circulation. Key concept: the number 8 is a powerful symbol of abundance, not just in terms of wealth but also in its ability to circulate and create prosperity for others. Number 12, Completeness and Trusting Divine Timing. Key concept: the number 12 represents wholeness and the cycles of life. It reminds us to trust in divine timing, understanding that everything unfolds as it should. Buddhist perspective. In Buddhism, the teaching of patience, khanti, is a critical virtue. Life operates in cycles, much like the 12 links of dependent origination, paticca samuppada, which describe how all phenomena arise and cease in interdependence. Trusting this flow helps us remain patient and grounded during times of uncertainty. Famous Buddhist story, the Buddha's enlightenment. The Buddha's path to enlightenment spanned many lifetimes, with each step building on the last. His patience and trust in the process culminated under the Bodhi tree, where he awakened to the truth. This story teaches us that completeness arises not from rushing but from surrendering to the natural progression of life. Practical insight. Recognize that achieving significant goals requires patience and persistence. Trust the timing of your efforts and avoid the urge to force outcomes prematurely. Example: a retiree invests in eco-friendly housing projects, patiently allowing her investment to grow over a decade. The timing aligns perfectly with her plans to use the profits for philanthropic work. The interplay of 16, 8, and 12, a harmonious journey. Unified framework. 1. Number 16, cultivate wisdom and align your decisions with higher values. 2. Number 8, embrace abundance by sharing resources and fostering collective prosperity. 3. Number 12, trust in divine timing and remain patient as life's cycles unfold. Buddhist-inspired collective story, the merchant's legacy. A wealthy merchant in ancient India combined the energies of these three numbers. Spiritual growth. 16, he sought the Buddha's teachings to guide his business practices, ensuring they were ethical and purposeful. Abundance. 8, he used his wealth to build a public water tank, benefiting his community during droughts. Completeness, 12, his patience in seeing the project through earned him respect and merit, creating a legacy that lasted generations. Underscore. Reflection, and engagement. For reflection, how do you balance spiritual growth with material aspirations? Do you trust the timing of your efforts? Or do you feel rushed? For action. 1. Write down a decision you need to make and evaluate it with wisdom. 16. 2. Plan one act of generosity to circulate abundance. 8. 3. Identify an area where you need patience and commit to trusting the process. 12. Now that you've journeyed through the profound wisdom of 16, 8, and 12, ask yourself, what will you do with this knowledge? Will you let it remain an interesting concept? Or will you take action to align your life with the spiritual and material balance these numbers represent? Remember, number 16 teaches us that every decision, no matter how small, should be guided by wisdom and purpose. It asks us to look beyond the immediate, and into the deeper meaning of our choices. Like the Buddha sitting under the Bodhi tree. Find your center and let insight guide your actions. Number 8. With its infinite loop of abundance, reminds us that wealth is not static. It's a flow, one that grows as we give and circulates as we share. Abundance multiplies when generosity becomes a habit. As demonstrated by King Ashoka, who transformed his empire through acts of compassion and giving. Finally, number 12 reminds us of the power of patience and trust. Just as the Buddha's enlightenment unfolded over many lifetimes, your journey requires faith in divine timing. Every cycle, whether it's success, failure, joy, or sorrow, leads you closer to completeness when approached with mindfulness and persistence. Here's your call to action. Reflect on where you are today. What decisions, 16, need more wisdom? Ask yourself how you can circulate abundance, 8, in your life. Finally, embrace patience and trust the timing of your journey, 12. Knowing that every step, no matter how small, is leading you to your greater purpose. We've seen how these principles can change lives. From the merchant who built a legacy of generosity to the entrepreneur who trusted her intuition to multiply her wealth. These stories remind us that success is not just about accumulating riches, it's about aligning your life with the values that matter most. What's next for you? Comment below with the action you're committing to today. Is it making a wise decision? Practicing generosity? Or perhaps trusting the timing of a project or goal you've been working on? If this video resonated with you, don't keep these insights to yourself. Share it with someone who might need a fresh perspective on wealth and purpose. And don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell. Because every week, we'll bring you more insights that can transform your financial and spiritual life. Thank you for watching. And as you step forward, remember, the universe moves in perfect balance. Trust its rhythm. Align with its energies. And watch your life transform. Until next time. Stay inspired. Stay aligned. And keep growing.